Just Kurt Greenfield has your forecast, and Jim Morton joins us in sports. WTAP News at 11 starts now.
Live from Studio A, this is WTAP News at 11.
A criminal case we've been following for 2 years may soon be over. Good evening, and thank you for joining us. I'm Phyllis Smith. Our top story tonight, a former commander of the Marietta post of the Ohio State Highway Patrol pleads guilty to cyber stalking. We've been following William Eschlager's case for more than 2 years. Between late 2015 and early 2016, he put a woman under surveillance by putting a GPS device on her car. According to court documents, he had intent to harass and intimidate her. He was arrested after a search of his home turned up real-time location tracking and GPS software on his cell phone. He was with the Ohio State Highway Patrol for nearly 20 years. According to a statement from U.S. Attorney Benjamin Glassman, Eschlager admitted he made phone calls and sent text messages regarding the victim's whereabouts and, at the time, her specific location, causing substantial emotional stress to the victim. For example, Glassman states he texted the victim when she was at a retail store in Vienna, telling her she needed to be aware of her surroundings and watch who she was around. His federal trial has been scheduled for later this month after several delays. We have not been informed of his sentencing date yet, but the maximum penalty for cyber stalking is 5 years in prison. Well, switching gears and turning to the weather now, a mostly clear night. Meteorologist Kurt Greenfield joins us now with the first look at our forecast. Kirk.
Boy, it's a real different kettle of fish tonight, considering the relative humidity is so low. The day has been a dramatic improvement. When we take a look at our current situation outside, the Highmark West Virginia Skycam says 63 degrees, but 87% relative humidity. The winds are calm and the pressure is coming up at 30.04 inches of mercury. This spells a recipe for some patchy fog tonight. But when we look at the radar satellite composite, there are no radar returns and the thinnest wisps of clouds moving through the area. Fog is not showing up on the radar. Taking a look at the day planner at 8 a.m., it'll be mostly sunny at 62 to begin with as that morning fog burns off. By noon, we're up to 78, and we'll get into the mid-80s in the afternoon. Still, mostly sunny conditions through the course of the day. So it'll be another picture-perfect day or a clone of what we've experienced today. I'll be back in a few minutes with more, Phyllis.
Thank you, Kirk. Authorities are still searching for the third person reportedly involved in a high-speed chase from yesterday. Tavares Williams and Christopher Sneed are charged with fleeing from officers. Williams is in the North Central Regional Jail. The other man was released on bond. The charges are in connection to a chase that happened yesterday afternoon that started in Ohio and ended in West Virginia. Deputies are still looking for that third man that was reportedly in the car. They believe he is a black man. Parkersburg police also released new details about another high-speed pursuit from the other day. That chase started when officers went to the South Parkersburg Walmart to investigate a shoplifting complaint. Police say that's when Timothy Albright drove off and a chase began. They say it was on Interstate 77 at speeds of more than 100 miles per hour. He was arrested after stopping his car near the Mineral Wells rest area. He's in the North Central Regional Jail. He'll most likely be going to Athens County next because he's wanted for 2 warrants there. A pre-trial hearing is today for one of 2 men accused in the attempted murder earlier this year of a new Matamoros area man. Robert Lauer was in Marietta this morning for court. He and co-defendant Cody Hinkle will go on trial August 27th. They're charged with attempted murder, conspiracy to commit murder, and felonious assault. The indictment says they reportedly tried to kill a Grandview Township man back in February. Commerce Secretary Woody Thrasher resigns after issues with the RISE West Virginia program that his department handled. Governor Jim Justice said Thursday morning he got Secretary Thrasher's resignation. The governor appointed Major General James Hoyer last week to be in charge of the RISE Flood Recovery Program. The program hit a snag earlier this year after the state's general counsel said it found a contract involving federal money was not properly finished. The governor still expressed his appreciation for his service to the state. There's no word yet on who the governor will appoint to fill it. The RISE program was created to help victims of the June 2016 flood. Williamstown celebrates a big milestone. Michael Tater has more about the groundbreaking ceremony for the new Williamstown Elementary School.
A long time coming.
Everyone in attendance smiling that this day has finally come.
This puts an exclamation point on the amount of work that was put into this.
Tim Yater, a former Wood County Board of Education member and a part of the committee for the new school, says this idea started 6 years ago.
I actually met in the library with the current Williamstown Elementary School, and just a group of community members got together and sat down and started talking about what it would mean and what it would take to build a new elementary school.
I went to Williamstown Elementary School on Williams Avenue, so it's an old building.
Current PTA President Carrie Ankrum says she cannot wait for when her young daughter entering pre-K will be able to attend the new school.
It'll be nice to know that she's yet again in another safe environment around in her surroundings and an updated building with just beautiful architecture, technology, and great staff and employees.
You bring in a new school, state-of-the-art facility, it gives a lot more opportunities for students. Everything's upgraded, wireless internet's upgraded, technology's upgraded. Not only that, but it offers a lot more opportunities to go outside. As Ms. Bredhauer mentioned earlier, just playing on the grass. And a lot of kids can't do that these days.
Many are pleased that the site that was chosen, the former home of the fencing glass factory, a longtime symbol of the community, will remain a big part of the community for generations to come.
The school's always busy, people are walking, people are playing around the school, and it's going to be a hub of the community, and that's what the community's built around.
You're utilizing the property, Fenton, which is an iconic name in this area, as far as how, what they provided as far as job and an industry, and it's in that footprint. It ties it all together. We couldn't have picked a better place.
In Williamstown, Michael Tater, WTAP News.
Speaking of school renovations, a school district in Washington County shows off new sketches of upgrades it's going to add. Brandon Lewis explains how this will impact students and the community.
A step forward.
When we're done, we're going to create a space that everybody can use at different times.
For the Warren Local Schools District.
The goal of the project is to create a space that becomes the community hub.
The nearly $62 million project moving forward. New renderings show what the district's new high school and elementary school buildings could look like. Renovations and additions to Warren Middle School are also planned.
So the support has been great.
People can put their input into the designs at the district's monthly community meetings, which makes sense since district officials say the new construction is not only for the students.
So when you talk about the schools, our schools are truly where people come to do different things, from walk their dog to come watch their friend play t-ball. That's what happens in our facilities. So my goal is not only to create the best educational space for our students during the day, but to create a community hub that's used 24 hours a day.
Construction for the elementary school and high school is expected to begin in the winter of 2019 and the summer of 2019 for the middle school. Brandon Lewis, WTAP News, Vincent.
Wood County teachers are learning from police about how to respond to an active shooter situation. Instructors used blank rounds to make it sound as real as possible. Take a listen.
Oh my gosh.
It's called ALICE training. It stands for Alert, Lockdown, Inform, Counter, and Evacuate in the event of an active shooter. The Wood County Sheriff's Department, along with Parkersburg, Vienna, and Williamstown Police Departments, trained teachers across the county this week. Law enforcement walked the halls of the schools, shooting blank rounds so they could show teachers and other school staff what to listen for if it were to ever happen. High school counselors also met at West Virginia University at Parkersburg to learn more about mental health. Bus drivers were trained on how to react to an active shooter if one were to happen on a bus.
Trainings, the practice of the drills, hearing live rounds out in the building, which is huge. I think it just helps prepare us for something that we hope never happens.
That's a better insight when we create our plans to react to a mass shooting, what they're experiencing, so we can modify or maybe change some of the things that we do to better ease the tensions that they have or the curiosity that we've never thought about.
The Wood County Board of Education Safety Director says the county was fortunate to have the teachers and administrators in the classrooms for an extra week this year. Those days were added because of the statewide teacher walkouts earlier this spring. The Continental Congress decided on the official flag of the United States in 1777. That was 241 years ago. Ever since then, June 14th has been known as Flag Day. Flag Day celebrates the adoption of the U.S. flag and what it stands for. American Legion Post 15 took time this morning to retire damaged flags.
Flags have flown over graves and of our veterans and things, and we just want to make sure that our veterans are recognized by properly disposing the flags that was displayed over them.
He says that if you have a flag that's damaged, you can bring it to the American Legion and they can help you retire it. June is Pride Month. It celebrates the lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and queer community throughout the U.S. Parkersburg Pride will be holding its first ever family picnic in Parkersburg City Park Saturday, June 23rd. The goal of the picnic will be to bring the community together and show that everyone is part of one large family. LGBTQ activists say it's important to have events like these.
For us here in Parkersburg, this family picnic is an opportunity for our family, for the LGBTQ family and our allies, to invite the entire community to come and bring their families to join us in celebrating the diversity here.
The event is free and will have food and activities like face painting, cornhole, music, and arts and crafts. Still ahead, real estate is a big topic at both Wood County Commission and Washington County Commission. We'll explain next at 11.